Why is it looking at me? How do I change it? I don't want it looking at me. All right, go ahead.
All right, so around the corner is the George Floyd protest here in our town, so we're gonna go support. We have our kids with us. So this is Eva, my daughter, Carissa, Marcy's daughter, and their friend Bindi.
And of course, we have our own biracial kids, so this subject hits home for us.
Yes.
So we figured we live stream this so you can see how our town does it.
All right, let's go, girls.
We're coming up to what we call Memorial Park, where everything's taking place.
That are built from a framework that I didn't contribute to. I didn't have any say in this. I had to learn how to get through the game. I had to learn how to get my education. I had to learn how to advocate for myself. You have to understand that people are hurting. And it's our job to have a conversation. We are so scared to have the conversation that we can't get to. I want to piggyback off something the great Reverend said. At the end of the day, to me, it's about empathy. What I keep telling people is you have to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And when you do that, or let me back up, people who do not want to do that, they don't. It makes them feel uncomfortable, makes them feel vulnerable. Well, then how do you expect change? You can't sit comfortable. That's what this sounds like to me. When I hear all lives matter, I'm like, really? So let me play this out. As a man, I would never tell a woman what she can and cannot do. So I need to understand as a privilege when I hear a woman says, I've been treated wrong, I've been wrong, I can get this job, I've been passed up because of man. What I don't get to say is, I don't know what you're talking about. It's disrespectful. So even though you may not be a black person, brown person, you don't have to be us to have empathy and go, but you know what, I'm willing to listen. That's where it starts. And as I look around, I'm gonna tell you, even starts even bigger. Like as adults, we get very, very comfortable with our ways, right? We have to work hard against what we've been taught, hard about the messages we hear out there. But I see the kids. I see all these kids here, and parents, grandparents, whoever brought them, I thank you. I really do. Because this is not something to be scared of. It's not. The kids are sponges. They pick up what you show them. And if you show them that this is a conversation, we're trying to all get to the same place. We're trying to have respect for, right now, black lives in this community. It doesn't mean we hate everything else. So parents, I thank you from the bottom of my heart as an educator. Thank you for having your kids here. All right? Lastly, I will just say the other piece that I think helps bring it together, we have to have patience. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? I have to be ready for the conversation of when someone says, I don't agree with you. All lives matter, Marcus. Okay. Are we gonna have a conversation or are you done? This is how we can affect change. With all due respect, I'm old school. I don't believe social media is the only way. I believe social media has allowed people to distance themselves, say things and walk away without the conversation. This puts us face to face. I can tolerate if you don't agree with me. That's what I was taught. You're going to disagree with someone, Marcus. You can't just want to fight. So when we put things face to face, and I know there are all these variables, like, sure you're going to go to all this virus, but we can protect ourselves, social distancing, all those things, we can still get it done. We have to prove past the point of the narrative that the media has portrayed, which has been, everything's been violent. Everyone's looting. Why are they doing this? No, it's not. Look around. This has been peaceful. People are listening. People are talking. So I ask for people to have empathy, and when you forget what that looks like, think of other moments in your life where you know things were not just, when you know they were not fair, and how it made you feel. So maybe that will be the starting point from when you're having a conversation with myself or any other person who identifies with the movement and says, okay, I'm willing to listen. And no, it plays on patience. You may not get it right then and there, or your friends may not get it then and there, but you still need to continue having the conversation. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Welcome to your space.
I would now like to call upon Special Education English and Civil Rights Compliance Officer Jessica Boldick.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Boldick. I'm the Director of Special Education and English Learner Education and the Civil Rights Compliance Officer at Ware Public Schools. Superintendent Dr. Leo cannot be here with us today, so I'll be reading her remarks. I want to thank Tyson Del Rosario for organizing today's event. Ware Public Schools is honored to be here today in solidarity with our community members, first responders, residents, and visitors to Ware. Over the past 13 days, our nation has been laid bare to the reaction caused by blatant racism due to the death of George Floyd. My condolences go out to the family of George Floyd for their loss. Ms. Floyd has left the Floyd family with a movement that is rolling across this nation like a wave in search of equality for all people. As the administration of Ware Public Schools, we join with you today, along with thousands of individuals across our nation, speaking out against the actions we witnessed in Minneapolis on May 25th, and all other events that have transcended over time that marginalize people. Knowing we join in one voice today in lifting up people, not tearing things down, which is imperative to addressing racism. Having these conversations at times may make us uneasy. However, the administration will not back away from working hand in hand to address the many issues that must be addressed in combating racism and injustice. Daily at Ware Public Schools and schools across the nation, children stand at the start of the day to take a pledge that promises liberty and justice for all. That pledge does not always appear that it is working the same for all individuals. My eyes, ears, and heart have been jolted over the past number of days by what has occurred across this nation. My eyes have seen the pain on the faces of protesters. Our district is committed to valuing diversity and appreciating the contributions of all students. My ears hear the cries and voices who are saying, I can't breathe. We commit to ensuring that we are creating a community that is inclusive and equitable. My heart is filled with sadness in knowing that as one nation, we haven't been able to figure out how to provide equity for all in the year 2020. More than ever, the time to come together is now. It is imperative that every American is treated equally. At this time, I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank those who have worked endlessly during these days of the pandemic we find ourselves living through. Thank you to the nurses, doctors, first responders, service and essential workers who have been on the front lines caring for us during this time. I greatly appreciate and salute your efforts. Dr. Marlene. In closing, I would like to echo Dr. providing equal access to educational opportunities in a setting where they feel valued and respected as individuals. We have a responsibility to continuously examine our policies and practices to eliminate discrimination, inequities, and implicit bias in our educational institutions. Educators have the most precious resource at our fingertips, our children, the future. We must make it a priority to model and teach them to take a stand against racism and injustice, advocate for equality and inclusion, and love one another regardless of the color of skin. I and my colleagues acknowledge and wholeheartedly embrace this responsibility. We look to do better, and we stand with you. I am a white woman. I do not truly know the pain, suffering, and fear experienced by members of the Black community. What I do know is that the killing of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, countless others, and the systemic racial injustice and inequity in our country disrupts my soul. I hope all members of our community feel the same overwhelming sense of unrest. From pain and unrest, we can and will grow. We can and will take action. And we can and will be powerful agents of meaningful and sustained change. It is time to move mountains. Black Lives Matter.
The last speaker of the day is a local resident and business owner, Bill Gunn.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Boy, what a tough couple acts to follow. They've said just basically everything that I've got written down. I've got a nice little speech prepared. I don't have to think about this issue. I'm a white guy. I don't have to think about racial injustice all that often. When it's brought front and center like it is now, I have to think about it. I wondered why Ty asked me to do this, to come up here and speak. And I still don't have a good answer to that, but I know it makes me reflect and think about subjects I don't have to think about often, and I get to grow. Thank you for coming out here. This is a beautiful day. Thank you guys for doing this. Thank the Ware Police Department for being here and helping out with this. This is an event that encouraged us to talk to each other, not at each other. There's a lot of talking at each other. I see it on social media. You know, how come all lives don't matter? I've heard this again and again today. We're talking at each other instead of talking to each other. This is a wonderful opportunity for people that don't feel the same about a lot of subjects to find common ground. I don't agree with Aunt Goby on a damn thing, but I agree with her on this. It brings people together. I'll address my experience with race. It's quite different than yours. I was born in 1961. I was born in Palmer, Massachusetts. I went to the Palmer schools until the 6th grade. My experience with diversity is there was one Oriental kid in my kindergarten class, there was a black girl in my first grade class, and a black boy in my 3rd grade class. That was my experience out of the white race up until the 6th grade. I moved to North Carolina and I can attest to the fact that things are certainly different down there. I got to study with, I got to work with, I got to fight with black people. I started learning that they're my fellows. They're not something to be feared, not something to be loathed. I was raised in a different time. In Palmer, Massachusetts, black people were feared and looked down upon. It's just the way it was. Things have changed a lot. They've changed slowly. They changed very slowly. And fortunately for me, I have the luxury of accepting slow change because I'm not the person being discriminated against. I'm not the person that's being told that you can't have this house because of your skin color. I'm not the person that's being told that you can't have this job because of your skin color. So I have the luxury of waiting for change to happen. I'm going to catch up to where I am in my speech. I'm jumping all around. There's a little story I'm going to tell you. I was doing a job in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it was at a red lobster, not that that's pertinent. But the maintenance fellow on the job was a black guy, and he and I spoke a lot. And it was during the election between Obama and Romney, and he and I bet a cup of coffee as to who was going to win. I didn't like either candidate, but I thought Romney was going to win. Driving to and from work every day, I went through his neighborhood, the gentleman's neighborhood, and the lines to vote were wrapped around the corners in the morning and the night. I discussed this with him the next day. I said, it was amazing. I've never seen anything like this before. He says to me, I knew this was going to happen. And when I asked him why, he said, Bill, I like you, but you will never know what it's like to be a black man in America. They were voting for Obama because of the way they felt. He's right. I can never know what it's like to be a black man in America. You talked about empathy. I can try to empathize. I can try to put myself in a black man's position. I can't do it. I don't have a history of systemic abuse toward me. I don't have a history of being denied housing again. These are things that have not been denied me. It's impossible for me to go there. I can try my best to understand it. Having said that, if a basketball player or a football player wants to kneel before a game, I don't have the standing to say, this isn't the place for you to do that. If people get angry because they see someone being pinned down face first until he dies, if people get angry because some man gets murdered because he looked like somebody that might have in a neighborhood, if people get angry because they see injustices happen, I don't have the standing to say, just get over it, nor do I have the standing to say, if you don't commit the crime, it won't happen. Those are unacceptable responses to that, and I've really lost my place again. Let's see. Okay. People on social media are bringing up black on black crimes. Where is there outrage over the black on black crimes? There is outrage about black on black crimes, but there is a huge, huge difference. The police departments across this nation are charged with protecting rights equally. They are not charged with violating the rights of an individual. If a black man is filmed killing another black man, I can guarantee you he will be arrested in short order, not suspended with 2 weeks with pay. There's a huge difference. I'm going to talk about rights for a little while. Human rights, not black rights, white rights, American rights, human rights. Our rights are natural. Our rights do not come from any government nor any individual. To try and explain this, a squirrel has the right to exist. His existence is the evidence of his right to exist. A fox also has the right to exist. His existence is also proof of that. They have a right to do whatever crosses their mind. In order to survive, the fox will chase the squirrel so he can eat the squirrel. Other foxes will fight with that fox in order to survive themselves. In turn, the squirrel tries to climb a tree, run away to defend itself. Other foxes fight for the best areas in which to survive. These reactions are called the right to defense. We're part of that, all of us are part of that natural system. If we're still in that natural state, we'd be fighting for survival like the fox and the squirrel, but we're not. We wouldn't accomplish much because we're constantly looking over our shoulders at who's going to take what we have or take our lives or hurt us in some way. So what we've done is we've formed societies to consolidate our right to defense, sort of a collective defense. Our first society is our family, mom and dad. They protect us to allow us to learn, be secure, play, grow. And as we move out of our homes, we form friendships, join clubs and small groups. These groups also defend our rights. Then we form governments and charge them with the same ideal. They're appointed to equally defend our rights, not to violate our rights or to attempt to define our rights. Governments persuade people to behave in certain ways by threatening deadly force. All government is force. It is at best a necessary evil. Given recent events, I don't believe I need to elaborate on that too much further, but suffice to say today, If I wanted to open my restaurant in Massachusetts, I could be arrested. If I disagree with that and oppose that arrest, deadly force will be used to make me comply. Allow me to offer practical solutions that should begin at local levels and expand to state and federal levels. First, prejudice exists and there are bad people. This includes in some police departments. I don't believe it to be the case in ours, but most people are good. I truly believe that with all my heart, that most people are good. People's minds on race are changing for the better. That's happening slowly. It'd be nice if all this changed poof, in one day. It's not going to happen. We have to work within our framework of reality that we have today. So what are the things we can do? My thought is our best option to diminish the opportunity for these prejudiced or evil people to harm us. How do we do that? Let's decrease the negative confrontations with police and government. One step in this direction is the elimination of victimless crimes, drug offenses, sex crimes, gambling. Instead of potential confrontations, our state government is creating black markets. It's become illegal to sell or possess menthol cigarettes, flavored cigars, bunks, flavored e-liquids. They've dictated what stores can be open and what type of silverware you must use. This causes more confrontations with police, not fewer. We should end the militarization of the police forces. We should end the war on drugs. This is one area in which our state is making great strides, and I'm proud of our local police department and the way they treat the addicted population in town. Individuals, especially our graduates, should be attending town meetings, voting in local elections, making changes in town and state governments, rather than leaving the same people in office that created many of the problems that we're facing today. Demand people run for office that know what rights are and will work toward a government that will protect the rights of everyone equally. Any politician that promises special treatment to any group, caters to any group, or runs on jealousy or fear, and we've got quite a few of them right now, is not to be trusted because these people do not understand or care about the true charge of government. As parents and grandparents, we need to be involved with our children's education. Our teachers and school committees do what they can and what they are charged to do, but in the end, they are strangers that must look out for the interest of all children, which sometimes is in conflict with the interest of an individual child. That's all I got to say. I thank you. I wish everybody the best of luck. Be good to one another and help each other.
Ask you all to take a march of solidarity down the main street with the fire department, with the police department, and the whole community if you would. We'll get going in probably a few minutes.
Ready to march, motherfucker?
Oh my god, I fell twice.
You fell twice?
I know Man's sister. Remember Man's sister that was murdered?
Yeah.
She's black. Her baby daddy is white. He's not going to prison.
Boyfriend shot
He's
her
what?
right in the head.
Not going to prison.
Right in
Why?
the head, right here. Said got away with it.
Should I stop or keep going?
And he's not going to jail. My baby,
I'd stop.
different race.
I don't even know how.
Do you want
Are we
to
walking down?
I want to figure out how to stop.